a lot of you know, right? Like humans were originally black. They evolved in Africa, and then from there they spread around the world. But a mystery that no one can explain, no scientist can explain this, no religion can explain it, nothing can explain it, is then where did white people come from? Did white people evolve from black people? There's the theory that as they went to colder climates, the need for the darker pigmentation evaporated. So maybe they turned white, or maybe it was a genetic mutation that happened. Who knows? But all those theories are wrong, because white people were created by a man named Yakub. And I'm going to tell you the story about him today. So, about 6,600 years ago, a scientist was born named Yakub. He was born in Mecca at a time when only black people existed in the world. So Yakub had an incredibly large head. His brain was gigantic. I'll show you a picture. Yakub's head was enormous, right? Just like this. He had like a brain 3 or 4 times the size of that of the normal human, thanks to his incredibly large head. And because of that, he was very smart. He was an incredible scientist. He grew into the best scientist in the entire world. Not just in Mecca, but the entire world, okay? And obviously he was Islamic. So at the age of 6, Yakub, who was already incredibly arrogant due to his immense intelligence, he discovered the law of attraction and repulsion by playing with magnets that he had made of steel. And that led him to concoct a plan. He was so arrogant and he hated his fellow black people so much that he decided that if he was to create a special class of human being that he could imbue with the power to attract others through trickery and lies, then that special kind of human being could trick and lie against the original black people and eventually grow to control them. So, by the time that Yakub turned 18, he discovered that the original black man contained both a black germ and a brown germ. And then he went to an island off the coast of Greece, which was Patmos, with 59,999 followers exactly, not 60,000, 59,999. Get it right. Don't blaspheme by getting the number wrong. And he went to that island and he established a dictatorship with himself at the head, which was set about breeding out blackness amongst his followers to create white people. He killed all darker babies and let the brown ones live. And after 200 years, he successfully created a brown race. At the age of 152, Yakub, the big brain scientist, died, but his followers continued on with his work. So after 600 more years of this deliberate eugenics, pairing the lightest people only with lighter and lighter and lighter people until they eventually became purely white-skinned, like a white person of today. And the brutal conditions of that creation made these people evil. It imbued them, just as Yakub had wanted, with the power to lie and trick the original pure black people with a skill that they have called tricknology, okay? Before whites existed, no one knew how to tell a lie. That is a fact. I'm looking at my old camera instead of my actual camera to say these things. Oops. So these white people traveled to Mecca, but they were so hated by the original black inhabitants that they were exiled to Europe, which at the time was an empty backwater. No one lived there, only animals. If we can even call these people more than animals, that is. So black soldiers patrolled the borders of Europe to ensure that these whites could not leave. So for many centuries, they lived in Barbary. They were naked in caves, they ate raw meat, and they shit in each other's mouths. But eventually, Moses taught them how to wear clothes. And he tried to civilize them, but he failed because they were just not capable of being civilized. So Moses decided to blow 300 of them up with dynamite, which of course he had, because Yakub had invented it. But the problem is, the technology that Yakub had infused into these white people allowed them to use their lack of empathy, emotion, and their trickery to usurp power and enslave black people. First, they tricked the border guards. Next thing, they were tricking the guards of the cities. The next thing, they were in the cities, taking them by force, making the innocent black people within helpless slaves, using that evil technology. So this new race of human, who we will call the Yakubian, because they were created by Yakub, were an unnaturally created predator, like a sort of robot, a cyborg, created to inflict pain and suffering upon the rest of the human race. So all races other than the black race were all byproducts of Yakub's work, because before that there were only black people. Now, fortunately, the other byproducts, like brown people, Asian people, Native American people, whatever, they didn't inherit the evil traits. Only the pure, like the widest of them did. Only the widest of them inherited the ability to do technology, the ability to lie, and the unfeeling, unempathetic, genocidal tendencies. That is how white people were created. That is how everything happened. Like the modern day, like sort of oppression of black people by white people is all because of Yakub, the big brain scientist who created white people due to his hatred of humanity. He created the Yakubian devil. All of this is a fact. All of this is true. Okay, this is irrefutable scientific fact. It's historical fact. I'm not joking. None of this is a joke. Yakub created white people. White people are Yakubians. Created by the big brain scientist, the evil bastard Yakub, through a hundreds of years process of eugenics to create evil white people, to do technology on black people and deceive them into enslaving them. This is all true. Yakubian devils. Thank you for listening to my very real, 100% true history and science lecture.